Hi Cancer, welcome to Dragon Tail Tarot. My name is Ariel and I'm going to be doing your full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn reading. This particular full moon comes up on July 16th on a Tuesday at 5:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Depending on what time zone you're in is when this will actually be an official full moon lunar eclipse. So just check your time zones if you're interested. I'm going to start with a little bit of a astrology reading, just kind of getting some general information. If you haven't already watched my reading for you for July, the month of July in general, go ahead and watch that one. But we're mostly going to focus on the full moon and the lunar eclipse energy that are coming in right now. So really when it comes to your particular chart, your general Cancer energy, the big thing that I see coming in there is that, again, you are releasing anything that doesn't serve you, especially in the areas of relationships or partnerships. This could also be work partnerships, this could be friendships, this could be contracts that you've signed in the past or thinking about signing in the future. So our new moon started the month of July, and that was in your sign of Cancer. So on the opposite end, it's going to Capricorn. And so as that moves through, that full moon lunar eclipse energy is all about purging, it's cleansing, it's clearing, and it's going through that house of relationships for you. And that's why, you may say, I got to get rid of, old baggage, old toxic people, people that are either trying to control, manipulate, modify my behavior in a way that I don't really like. You Cancer in particular are already going through a universal planetary cycle where you're already having, hate to say it, a little more challenge in your love life, where it's either, if you're in a relationship now, it's very challenged, and if it's strong, if it's meant to be, you will get through those challenges, you will overcome them, but not without some testing. If it's a relationship that's not meant to be, it will go away. It will fade away because it's not for your best and your highest. And if you're single right now, you will be very particular about who you let into your life. You're not just ready to accept any old person that comes down the lane. You've got standards that are pretty high right now, and you're really rethinking, what is it I want? If I've been hurt in the past, it's like I got to learn from that and say, what do I want in a new partner? So this is all coming up for cleansing, for healing, and for clearing. The beautiful thing is that later in this year, these are all 6-month cycles, so we're really going to be looking at the next 6 months out when we look at the energy of this eclipse. But when we get into this coming December, we're going through yet another cycle. All these solar and lunar eclipse patterns this whole year, starting at the end of last December and early January, going all the way through the end of this year and early next January 2020, are in Cancer and Capricorn. So it's definitely, you're in the hot seat right along with those Capricorns. Yeah. So Cancer, let's take a look, and first I just want to let you know that this is a general reading. It just always make that disclaimer that it may not resonate with every single Cancer on the planet. That's impossible. So if this reading does not resonate with you, take a check on your rising sign, your moon sign, your Venus sign in your astrology chart, and you might want to look at the readings for those, because those might resonate with you a little stronger. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start. Dear angels, Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, Jesus, divine angels, divine beings of light, helpers and healers, please be with me right now as I do the reading for the full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn for the sun sign of Cancer, July 2019. These are so beautiful. Love these. So these are my animal spirit cards. These are just, I love these. They're just beautiful artwork. This Panther Spirit starts out. So this is about reclaiming power. I also really get a lot of energy from this as a stillness and a quietness. There's a peaceful, subtle but very powerful energy to this card. So even right now, if you feel like you're a little bit more like, you know, I gotta relax, I gotta stay a little bit more, you know, under the radar, this is definitely a perfect card for that, because it brings in reclaiming your personal power, your personal vitality, which really got a light shown on it at the beginning of July, where it's like, here, Cancer, you can't just be, you know, stepped on by people. You can't be taken advantage of people. It's time for you to shine and to be powerful. The next coming up, another perfect card for you is the Wombat Spirit. This is about being at home, being grounded, being safe, being stable, feeling like your home environment offers what you need. If your home environment is out of whack or it doesn't feel quite right to you, Cancer, this is a perfect time to start purging that. And it could mean letting go of a negative roommate, letting go of a negative relationship if there's somebody sharing that space with you. So these can be big. And Cancer, just like us Capricorns, I'm Capricorn, we don't like change much. We really are kind of like, nah, what's good is good. We don't like to have to shift it around. But there is a lot of shift hitting us. I feel like that's really, you know, we're going to like, do we have to go through this? But yes, this is definitely our year when it comes to that. And there's a lot of cleansing, clearing, and detoxifying that we have got to do. So do what it takes to make your home feel like a real home, you know, and if that means moving to a whole new place, that's part of the journey. What's coming up next is the Peacock Spirit. Time to shine. Time to shine. And that really is coming up for you. I mean, this is this month. It's showed you that you do need to shine, that you need to sparkle. I love the peacock. The peacock is actually kind of almost like a chicken, which sounds funny, but you know, and I think of roosters and I think of chickens with those bright colors. You know, peacock has those bright colors as well, and that display that they do with the big tail isn't just to be pretty. It's saying, this is my place. They're protecting their territory. They're usually protecting their mate or their family, and they're saying, back off. All those little, you know, those little feathers, they shine and they shimmer and they look like a bunch of eyes looking at you, and it freaks the predators out. So there's definitely a thing. It's not only shining out your radiant spirit and showing people that you have, you know, a lot of color and life and energy to offer, but it's also kind of, yeah, it's putting your foot down saying, this is my spot. You can't take it. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to pull a few from the traditional Rider deck. That we all know, the traditional tarot. And I'm just going to look at a past, present, future based on the next 6 months to see what kind of energy patterns and things you should be aware of as we go through. Cancer, Lunar Eclipse, July 2019. And yet again, Cancer, we're coming up with that King of Swords. So this is the immediate past. This is, you know, really what I think about, like what these eclipses have triggered for you. And I think when that, you know, a king and that air energy comes up, you've got big choices to make. These are big mental decisions. It's also decisions based around, you know, control. What you control, what you can't control. You know, he has, you know, the king and the queen, they both have those butterflies in their thrones, and the butterfly to me is very much about transformative power, you know, the metamorphosis. So you're definitely going through that as well. That's something that's already underway. And I'm going to just pull some cards coming up around that to modify this King of Swords. Yeah, this is a lot about balance here. A lot about balance, Cancer. So you start out with the Magician. This is really, a lot of this is starting from fresh as well. And you're using all the elements of yourself and your persona to come into a stronger place. You know, it's taking the emotion, the mind, you know, all of it, your resources and your ideas are all coming together. And then here's that balance, the Temperance card, along with the Six of Pentacles. This is all about give and take, reciprocity, keeping enough for yourself while also giving generously to others, balancing your internal emotions with your physical needs. That's all coming up in there. These are things that you are already aware of. These are the big things that are kind of pushing the emotion forward. So in the present position, we've got this Ace of Wands. Again, huge, big decisions, but this is even more than decisions. This is personal power. Just like we said, that Panther came out with that personal power about reclaiming who you are. Not just sitting and being a pushover, not just letting people run over you, if especially that's happened. This is just putting, literally kind of that divine stick in the ground that says, it's like Gandalf, you shall not pass. You're not going to get away with this anymore. But presently, that's where you're coming from. That's where you're coming from, Cancer. Yeah, this is requiring a lot of you emotionally. I think that there is that victory, and you know that that's very close at hand. You're in that moment where you say, I really can overcome this. And it requires new ideas, new energy, which, Cancer, y'all are not always fond of that, and that's why I think there's that Nine of Swords. Because for you, letting go of the past is usually very emotional. It's usually kind of difficult. And it's not something that you enjoy having to do. Going into the immediate future, that reflects that as well as that Eight of Swords. You kind of get bound up in your own ideas. And I think that, that's not so much a tangible as it is in the thoughts. The Eight of Swords, honestly, many times brings up feelings of guilt or feelings of shame or inadequacy or something. I didn't do enough, or I didn't try hard enough, or, all these things. And it just binds you up in your mind, right? And you feel like you can't get free of it. So this is really a reminder to, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be quite so hard on yourself as you go through this. This is normal. It's a normal struggle. So I'm just going to ask you some clarification around the Eight of Swords for Cancer. Thank you. Yeah, you're going to a very good place though, Cancer. These are beautiful coming up. So I think that, once you get free of that guilt or any kind of like leftover residual negative thought about yourself or the situation, you come into that Ten of Pentacles. This is all that balance and stability, the happy home, all the things that you really, desire and want to create. New emotional beginnings. And this could indicate as well that you're either starting a new romance or an old romance is getting a new start. Something is starting to come back fresh. Some people read this as birth of a child or a pregnancy. I don't necessarily, because I think that these are, they're not gender specific. But if that is your personal situation, that could be part of it. But I think it's really more the birth of new emotion, the beginning of a new emotion or a new feeling. Yeah, so that's honestly. And sometimes that can also bring in you needing maybe to apologize for something, someone else needing to apologize to you for something, etc. That can really come as well. But this is a beautiful card for your outcome here, the Star card, because again, to me, this has a lot in common with Miss Temperance. It has a lot in common with, even the Six of Pentacles on the smaller level, because these are all about balance. These are all about having that really nice, stable, harmonized feeling inside. The Star is beautiful. This is Aquarian energy. If there is a significant Aquarius in your life, or if you have Aquarius in your chart, that could definitely speak to you a little bit more as well. But 1 foot on the earth, 1 foot, pouring in the water. It's that balance, and it's giving. Well, it's also receiving. It's just a gorgeous card. So rich with meaning and fulfillment. And then I'm going to pull one more card for you, Cancer. We're going to do a Angel Oracle card, just to see what comes in along for some extra advice. Blessing in disguise. That's a perfect card for you right now, because I think a lot of what you're feeling, any of that, like those Nine of Swords kind of moments, those feelings of pain, feelings of frustration, things that you're letting go of that you might even feel like you're ready to let go of it yet. But what appears to be a problem is actually part of answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. So I really do believe that, you know, there's a reason for the struggle. There's a point. It's not just for nothing. You're getting to a really a better place and a more deep personal stability as we go through these changes coming up. All right, Cancer, thanks so much for joining. This is a brand new channel, so I always really appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe, if you give it a dragon claw up, like it, share it with your friends, and I'll be seeing y'all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.